Hey everyone, welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. Today I'll be taking a look at the Pit of Judgement box set that was recently released by Hasbro Pulse. They released this as part of their PulseCon event and they put it up online. They put it up online for Hasbro Pulse members first, and the next day when Hasbro Pulse went live, the PulseCon went live, it went up for everybody else. It is a fantastic box set. It is wonderfully packaged. It's representative of the scene in the 1986 Transformers movie where Cup and Hot Rod were captured by the Quintessons, taken and put on trial, which is a mock trial really, because everybody, whether innocent or guilty, was thrown to the Sharkticons. I've always liked the Quintessons as figures or characters, and these representations of this scene is fantastic in this set. The Sharkticon is a recolor of the Titans Return Sharkticon, done up very nicely. The Quintesson Judge figure is colored more like the movie and comes with a different color chair than the Earthrise release. The Bailiff is a heavy retool of the Earthrise Alucon figure and also a repaint. Some notes on the colorations of this during the review. And this is the first time we get a Kranix figure and a Prosecutor figure. The Prosecutor guy is a little small, and these guys are made of a rubberized plastic, sort of, and there's not really any articulation. And you can also take this out and place them on here if you'd like to do that, or just have it on your shelf in the box. Quintessons have always been one of my favorite characters. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movies. I'm really glad that they actually released this. I think this is fantastic, and I'm super excited for it. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, let's take a quick look at it inside the packaging. This is packaged beautifully. You can see a big, very large open window with all the detail and all the different parts of the shark pit and the judge's chair, the bailiff. Very cool. Kranix sitting in there, just about to have the ramp taken out from under him and eaten by the Sharkticons. This is a very, very awesome set. It's colored all the way around. It has an absolutely beautiful rendered image. If you don't keep boxes, this would be an image just really nice just to take out and maybe even to cut it here and frame. This is quite beautiful. It says Transformers the movie down here. On the side it has the green with the spikes. On the top it has the logo, the Quintesson logo. The bottom is just cyber wall looking thing. This is a very beautiful set. Let's get to inside the box. All right, inside the packaging, let's start off with the instruction sheet. Now this instruction sheet is a huge instruction sheet, and it's done a lot in color, which I find intriguing considering most of them are done in just the teal blue colors and 2 or 3 different colors. It's really, really nice. It goes through each piece in here. The name, so the name is Cybertronian as well. The Quintesson Judge, Bailiff, the Sharkticon, and down here there are quotes. Understanding Quintesson law. If you're guilty, you'll be fed to the Sharkticons. If you're innocent, you'll be fed to the Sharkticons. How to defend yourself against the Sharkticons? Call the Dinobots. Which is interesting and a callback to the movie. So, opening it up, you have a nice color image of the figure before you have the transformation steps. And then a color image on the other side. And that goes for all of them on the front and back. Now, something that's also really, really cool here is that they show the Quintesson and you get each head's name. Doubt, Death, Wrath, Wisdom, and Wit. Very, very cool. Shows you everything you could do. The transformation with the Quintesson Judge figure. Very cool instructions. Very, very nicely done. And of course, you get the diorama. Now, the diorama is actually made to be taken out of the box and left mostly assembled. It's pretty easy to take off all the plastic pieces that are attached to this that actually strap the figures inside of it. They are done with this tape here, so you just cut it here, fold it over, and you could have it. This is actually fairly sturdy. It is made of cardboard. It is not plastic or anything like that. It is nicely printed. It's got some nice, very nice detail in it. So this is what I will be using to display my figures personally. It is something you don't have to. If you have your own diorama, you want to make a diorama, but they actually stand on here very nicely. And of course, you get the Quintesson Judge, Sharkticon, Cranix, the Prosecutor, and the Bailiff, all in the set. This is a very, very nice set here. Let's take a look at these guys one by one, starting with the Quintesson Judge. All right, so taking a look at the Quintesson Judge up close. Now this, I unfortunately do not have the Earthrise version to compare it to, but this one does have a slightly different coloration than that one. This is done very nicely. It comes with a chair here, which he just pegs into, and he could stand up on his own as well with this little blast effect piece here. They stand up on. It would be really nice to have a little light in there, but you get what you get. I mean, it is Hasbro. So you get all the faces, and what's really cool about this is there's this lever on the back here. So this lever on the back allows you to, see if we can do this on camera, rotate the faces. You get fast, and this kind of stops wherever. It is really, really nice. So there are a couple of them actually have working mouths. So these three do, and these two don't. Whoa. These two do not have working mouths. I believe these two on the Earthrise one were the ones that you had to actually connect yourself. I'm not sure. I don't have that, but that's I think that's what I've heard. However, all the paintwork, let's go at each one of these. Let's look at all of these. Real nice and up close. The paintwork and the sculpted detail is just out of this world. It is done super nice, especially on Death here with the flat green and the gloss paint. Otherwise, the teeth, which are done in a silver, and this is done in a gray. Just a ton of nice details on each one of these guys. I mean, just so very nice. What I think is also really cool is it may not show up so much on camera, but they're done in a less saturated tone. Even that orange, which actually looks brighter on the camera, is more of it has less saturation, maybe in some blue in there to cool it off a little bit from being such a warm color. I think that these have been done very, very nice. Very, very nice. Actually, let's look at some detail on here while I have them. So he's got all these different tentacles that come off him. He's got, everything like these were actually lights, I think, painted or gluing lights on the cartoon. On the top, panel looking really, really well done. And of course, Quintesson would not be complete without his chair to sit on. And now there's these pegs here, which the blast effects sit into. And on the bottom, you will find his weapon. So he comes with a gun. This little gun right here, so if I can get it in focus. There we go. And there is a peg here. It also has a 5mm peg, so you could probably put it on another character as well. And what this gun is for is, if you look at his tentacles, which, by the way, each one of his tentacles can be moved like this, so it's part of the articulation. You've got these two little pegs. Now, this side peg is used for something else, and this little peg towards the far end is used for the gun. And what you do is you put that in. Kind of tough to get in there. Also because my big sausage fingers. There we go. So you go like that. And what's cool about this is there is a peg hole. So I get real close. Peg hole right here. And that pegs right into there. If it wants to stay, peg in like so. So he could actually hold the gun pointed at someone, which is very, very cool. It is something that I think is awesome for display to do this in. It's a really nice idea. So this guy does have a transformation, which I will go through. It's very simple, and he turns into a jail cell. So what the first thing you want to do is you want to take the top off like this, and that has this jail in the middle. It pegs in via these two pegs on the top here. And you see this. Now it does open up, so you could put a character in it. And then you want to take the Quintesson figure himself And each one of the heads goes up like so. All the way around. Like that. So you have something that looks like this. Little camera trouble, but let's start over from here. So you have this. This is what you have now. And what you want to do is you want to take this. The blast effect has a little lever right there. You know, push that lever down. And what that does is, you see these, it takes those and moves them in so you can be disconnected from that port. And you take all of these doors. This one door has it's the actual door into the place. And there's these two little tabs. This is in the front of the figure. So see these two little tabs down there, and you line those up. And it goes in like that. Now the rest of the doors are on these double hinges here. And you kind of just go like that. All the way around. Now, so the tentacles don't get in the way, you want to move them all up. They're all in a little joint. Move them all up like this. And then you could set that down. You could take the chair, and the chair opens up like so. And it has these points on it, like here and here, that are like the base points, connectors for ramps and whatnot. And then you just put that in like that. So that ends up being like that. So then what you want to do is you want to take these two little aforementioned pegs, and there's the pegs on the bottom of the blast effect. You line them up. Kind of push it in there like that. And then here's this is the kind of stupid part. It just is supposed to sit in there like freely like that. It's could be better, I think. I'm not a very big fan of it. Now you have the cage here, and the instructions say to put the gun on top of the cage, and then you could just put that there like that. And that is the transform mode of the Quintessons Judge. Now this isn't so bad. If you had to do something with it, I guess a prison would be the appropriate mode to have for a Quintesson. Of course, the Quintessons do not transform. They actually, I've always thought they may be techno-organic. In the series, the Quintessons are the ones that invented or created the Transformers. And Cybertron as a factory planet. That was later retconned into, well, many different things, Primus and Unicron and all that sort of thing. So, you know, I've always enjoyed the idea that the Quintessons created all the Transformers to do their bidding, and they revolted. But you know, that sort of story's been done time and time again. But I have always been fond of that. Let me get this guy back into his standard mode, and we'll do some comparisons. All right, here he is next to the Siege Optimus Prime. As you can see, he's got some pretty good height on him with the little blast effect. And then if you want to move in the chair and connect him into the chair for his full height, he's actually got a little height on him when he's in the chair. So it is a nice sizable figure. And here he is next to Deluxe Hubcap, because why not? All right, moving on to the next figure. Let's take a look at the Bailiff. Let me get the camera focused a little bit more on him. Now, I love this retool. I think they did an excellent job retooling the Alicon into the Bailiff figure. Give him a quick turnaround here. Now, all the articulation and the transformation steps are exactly the same between this figure and the Alicon. He does have a ton of retooled parts. So let's actually bring in the Alicon to do a quick comparison. Okay, here is the Earthrise Alicon figure, so you can see a couple things. Let's get in closer. Now there, as you can see, there's a lot of different detail here. They have different shoulders, different heads. There's a different chest piece. He has a different weapon, and even the area around the head here, this little neck piece that you know that goes in and out, is entirely different on this figure. Very, very cool. A lot of different tooling on it instead of just a straight repaint. And let's talk about paint for just a second. So this guy, this coloration of him, I believe appeared in Transformers Wiki on a, I don't know if it was an early colorization or something, but it was incorrect. So let's put that image up right here. As you can see, this figure represents that image. Let's put the movie coloration of him right here. So they are much different. This had a lot more green on it instead of these brown tones. And I mean, I really actually think these brown tones do a lot of justice to the figure. I think it looks very nice. It's subdued. It's not super bright. I actually quite like it. I think it's really well done. So he does come with his weapon here. Now his weapon is in two pieces. And this is done in a hard plastic, the bottom of the mace, and this is done in a soft rubbery sort of plastic that you can see is not super straight. A little hot water could fix that actually. And he goes in and goes like that. So let's get it on his face here, this face sculpt, because it is new and it is very nice. It's done up with nice paint work, with a nice sort of pinkish metallic that's also on his chest. And these are also sort of rubberized. They're not as soft as the weapon actually. These are also rubberized. But just some really nice detail on it. Very, very nice detail. Now this piece does come connected to him, so you don't have to connect it like you did with the Alicon. The new tooling does not stop with just this mode. I'm going to skip the transformation steps and just show you him transformed into his alligator-esque mode. If you want to see the transformation steps, please check out my Alicon review. All right, here's the bailiff in his alligator mode. And just for comparison, I'm going to bring in the Alicon just so we can see the differences. Now, one thing that I did, right off the bat is the arms, which I just didn't like. Still don't like. They are less obtrusive here because it doesn't have the pink hands. Let's go over to the back. The back is the same. One thing I did forget to mention, he does have the weapon that pulls out of the end of the tail here, just like the Alicon does. It's no different. And then he has some different detail besides the shoulders, which definitely also show up. He has an entirely new molded headpiece for the alligator. Look at the differences. It is entirely different. It is just it's a different mold altogether. It is very nice. Also, this little piece here has some spikes on it, which are not rubber, and this just has the bump. So there is some differences, which is pretty cool. Just not something I expected, especially since the bailiff, the robot mode of this guy is his primary mode, and it's really cool. I'm glad they kind of went the extra mile for this. Now this will also tab into his back just like so. Or you could have them hold it in the little fists. There's a couple little bit things where they didn't paint the front teeth here, and they didn't paint the tongue as they did on the Alicon. But again, this isn't the mode I'm going to be displaying him in, but he does look really nice. And the last of the transforming robots that we have with this set is the Sharkticon. Now this is just a repaint of the Titans Return Sharkticons that we got, a year or two ago. He does have, I guess it would be more movie accurate paint. He does look very nice. He retains some of the same things like the eyes being green. Let me bring in the Sharkticon here for comparison. So he's got a much more kind of subdued color scheme and not as bright with like the pink, metallic pinks on him. Darker kind of, instead of blue-gray, instead of gray is blue-gray. Very like less desaturated sky blue color rather than this deeper light blue. Kind of all the way around. No big pink highlights. So he is, let's do a size comparison real quick. You can see here, there he is next to Siege Prime. So it is rather little. I would almost have preferred a larger one like the Cyberverse version, which just seems to be more appropriately sized for a Sharkticon. However, no complaints. So transformation is fairly easy on this guy. Since I don't have a video showing the showing the Titan's Return one, I'll show you this one here. It is really, really simple to do. You want to remove the tail mace here, take the fin, move it down. There is pegs right here that you just want to pull up, around, unpeg the legs. That exposes the head. Head comes up, move the head all the way around 180 degrees. The shark head goes up on the back of the legs like so. Move the arms kind of just out of the way. Then you have the feet here. They are on this sort of double hinge. You want to take it and just put it like that. Then turn his elbow around. Do it on both sides. Like so. Move the shark fin all the way up and around out the back. And there he is in his robot mode. Now the different colors do actually come through on the robot mode. His weapon of course goes in his hand. Let me bring in the other one for comparison. Here he is with the robot mode of the Titan's Return one. And as you can see, the different colors for the heads still appear here. He has a yellow eyes. See if I can get in there. Yellow eyes. The head sculpt there. Yellow eyes. Kind of a like a slate blue color for the greenish, maybe for the helmet, where this one has red eyes and a gray helmet. The bright pink and blue, where he has a metallic pink Decepticon logo. Little red paint showing up. So there's quite a few differences in color on these. I almost want to see this guy as sort of a higher ranking Sharkticon than these. If you have a few of these, they're going to look great with the set. All right, moving on, we have the Prosecutor figure. Now, he is quite small. You bring in Siege Prime for reference. He is very, very little. It would be really cool to have this figure be actual size. I believe in the movies or in the cartoon, he was much, much larger. But let me get into some of this detail on here. There's very nice paintwork and very, very nice detail. The only articulation he has is in the head, which actually comes right off. It's just on a peg. It's not even in there very tight. Yeah, I would like to have seen some articulation here. There was, you could just at least maybe twist him or something. He does have a blast effect piece that comes off. If you don't want to have it there, he'll stand up just fine without it. But overall, the detail and paintwork actually extends nicely to the back. It's just really done real nice. It's seriously, they really did do a really good job on this set. I'm very happy with it. And last but not least, we have the Kranix figure. Let's get them in focus. So pretty nice detail in this little guy. Now he has no articulation whatsoever. He's done in a sort of a bendy plastic. He has a couple of different size holes here. I guess you could pin him on, peg him onto something. He is missing some paint apps around the face, like as in the movie, but he has the pinks, which is done nice, and is a pretty good representation of this character. He is very small. So just for comparison again, because we've been doing it, that's how big he is. He is very little. However, super nice. Super nicely made. I really, really like this figure. Okay, finally, here is the set all together. Now, this set is done very nicely. This is how it's going to go on my shelf. I absolutely adore this. It looks amazing like this. Everything, it's actually pretty decent. It stands up on its own, and it doesn't have any real problems with being sturdy. It's very nice. It looks very good. A lot of detail on it. One thing I did forget to mention that I wanted to show is the storage place for the Quintessons gun right there. I think that's awesome because you can never trust a Quintesson. He always has something up his sleeve just in case things go wrong. So for my final thoughts, oh man, these are awesome. I love this set. I am over the moon with how well these are done. I really like Floridary's designs, and these actually represent his designs for the movie to a T. They're beautiful figures. They're well painted. They're well made. I love this set. I really, really love this set. My gripes still are the same with the Alicon as they are with the bailiff here. And the coloration, I think, is kind of funny that they went with these coloration instead of the original movie coloration, which is the brighter green. I don't know if that was intentional or an accident, but it does set it apart from the Alicon a little bit. So I think that's why they went with it. It does look very nice. All the faces are really cool. The alt mode on this thing's sort of weird, but you don't really need it. I could do without an alt mode on this thing and I would still buy it. I still have the Earthrise one coming, so I'm super excited. And I'm thinking maybe I should probably get another one so I can have 3 set up. It is a really nice set and I very highly recommend it. It looks great sitting on the shelf by themselves, or if you want to make a diorama or use an included diorama, it's wonderful. I may even, I don't know if I should cut up the back and frame the picture on the back because it's so nice. Everything about this set was done with a lot of care, and I really appreciate that it was put out. And if you don't have one and you find one for a good price, I would say jump on it. It is a really nice set, like I've said a million times. So please hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribers actually help. If you subscribe, it helps other people see my videos as well, and that means a lot to me. Hit the thumbs down button if you have to, and I'll see you guys next time.